Let's talk about insurance, particularly life insurance versus accident and health insurance. Who among you here has a life insurance policy? Raise your hand. All right. If you don't have any, you can come to me and I'll be able to help you have a policy of your own. Very easy. And who among you also has already an accident and health insurance policy, either covered by your company or covered by you or paid by you personally? All right, cool. That means you are on your way and very ready to protect yourself and your family or your loved ones or whoever your beneficiaries are in cases of emergency or in cases of your disability, accident, dismemberment of any part of your body, or any untoward incident that happens to you, or God forbid, in case of death. So that's good for you. Now let's move further and discuss what are the differences between the three. Life insurance aims to provide for a fund for the benefit of the estate or of the heirs or the beneficiaries of the insured after the latter's death. So for life insurance, there is an insured and there is a separate or different beneficiary because once the insured dies, the benefit goes to the estate or the heirs or other beneficiaries. So if I am the insured, I will not be the beneficiary. As to accident and health insurance, the objective of these is to protect against not the loss of life, but the loss of time, earning capacity, and expenses. So for instance, if I have an accident insurance and I enter or I got into an accident and I couldn't go to work or come to work because I am hospitalized at the moment, so I am being paid for the number of days that I was in the hospital and because I couldn't get to work and I couldn't earn my income during those days. Same is true with health insurance. However, when one of the risks of the insured in an accident insurance is the death of the insured by accident, so this is a stipulation, such insurance may also be regarded as a life insurance. Main differences with regard to personal accident insurance, life insurance, and medical and health insurances. First off, based on premium. For personal accident insurance, premium is based on the nature or classification of the profession. Since the more risky the profession, the higher the premium. For life insurance, premium is based on age and health status, which means that the higher your age and the more comorbidities you have, the higher will be the premium. Unlike for children or young adults who do not have or are basically healthy, do not have any comorbidities, their coverages or premium payments are also lesser. So for medical and health insurance, they also have a higher premium based on age or health status. If, for example, you have a higher age and you also have comorbidities, the tendencies are your premiums to be higher. For coverages, personal accident insurance covers injury, permanent, total, or temporary disability, and fatality due to accidents. So practically all encompassing accidents stipulated in your insurance contract will be covered by the personal accident insurance. For life insurance, it covers total permanent disability and fatality due to accidents and natural causes. So the difference here is that there is a natural cause indicated or stipulated in the coverage. Unlike the personal accident insurance, it's only due to accidents. For medical and health insurance, the coverage is for medical bills concerning accidents and illnesses. Therefore, um, these are what you call the HMOs in your companies you have been employed in. They usually provide HMO coverages for you. For instance, if you get hospitalized, part will be covered by the PhilHealth as to your total hospitalization bills. and the rest will have to be covered by the HMO, depending on how much is the maximum allowable coverage for your HMO, especially when it comes to accidents or illnesses. If either you um, get sick and get hospitalized, so your HMO will cover for that as well. As to what occupations will be covered, personal accident insurance may not cover certain occupations that are hazardous. So there is a certain limitation as to what type of occupations may allow um, personal accident insurances to be covered for. And aside, well, on the other hand, for life insurance, it does not limit policyholders based on occupations, but definitely the premium may be affected. And this is same with medical and health insurance. Basically, um, the last two, they don't have limits as to any hazardous occupation that you're occupied or you're employed in, for as long as there is a certain difference with regard to premium. So the more hazardous your work, the higher your premium. As to coverage, some insurance companies provide 24-hour worldwide insurance protection companies for either personal or life insurance. But for medical and health insurance, it may be limited depending on the location and stipulations on your policy. You've known the difference between the three: life insurance policy, the accident insurance, and of course your health insurance or medical insurance policies. It is not required for you to get all, but for your own safety, for precautionary measures, and also for the assurance of yourself or your loved ones or your beneficiaries, you have to get either one of them or two of them, at least one, right? Because you want to get protected, you want to get insured. Now let's talk about compulsory motor vehicle third-party liability insurance. Who among you here has a car, owns a car, or will own a car, or is planning to buy a car? This is very important for you to know that the compulsory motor vehicle third-party liability insurance is a requisite for you to register or for you to renew your car. In other words or other terms, we call it the Ctpl, or the compulsory third-party liability as mandated by the Land Transportation Office or the LTO of the Philippines for all motor vehicle owners. So practically, once you buy your car, you have to have an insurance called Ctpl. It protects you from any possible liability for a third party caused by bodily injury or death in an accident arising from the use of your CTPL. Is a requirement in the Philippines, and so before you actually register your car with the Land Transportation Office, whether for personal or commercial use, you have to purchase a CTPL. The purpose of requiring this is for protection of the general public. When the CTPL policy is purchased, the assured is given an insurance policy with conditions and stipulations. And this coverage will answer for the death, disablement, and medical expenses of the person injured because of an accident involving your vehicle. It also covers damage of your vehicle um, or causes to other vehicles when it's either your fault or the other person's or the other driver's fault. If the cost of the losses or damage is more than your liability limit, you'll need to pay the balance of the settlement yourself. CPL contain There is a confirmation of cover that is attached to the CTPL, which the LTO will require upon registration of your car as a proof that the vehicle is CTPL insured. This will also include the name of the assured, the basic details of the vehicle, such as serial number, chassis number, plate number, color, etc., as well as the insurer's limit of the liability. And also stipulations as to the schedule of benefits, such as the death benefit, funeral expenses, permanent disablement and dismemberment, and limits for such medical or hospital reimbursements are shown in the policy, as well as in the schedule of benefits for death in bodily injury. Now, it may be bought, a CTPL may be bought from any licensed insurance company. It could be either online or physically when you renew or register your car. And the CTPL premium rates are mandated by the Insurance Commission across all insurance companies. Therefore, if there's any deviation as to the rate, it could be higher or lower depending on the model of your car, the make, and the year it was made. It could, if it's lower or higher than what is stipulated by the insurance commission, then these insurance companies can be reported to the commission. Now let's talk about the no fault indemnity clause. With regard to CTPL or other insurances covering your property, especially your vehicles that may incur accidents, or you as a driver, you may meet an accident using your vehicle. There are also clauses covering them. One is the indemnity clause. It is a clause where the insurer is required to pay a third party injured or killed in an accident without the necessity of proving fault or negligence on the part of the insured. There is a stipulated maximum also that's going to be recovered from the insurer. The purpose of the no fault indemnity clause is to guarantee the compensation or indemnity to the injured party in a motor vehicle accident. So these are the rules on no fault indemnity clause. There is a 15,000 pesos coverage for all motor vehicles, standard across the board. If an insured vehicle met an accident and there are harmed or injured individuals, whether it's his passenger or another person outside of the vehicle, no fault indemnity clause in the vehicle's insurance policy may allow a passenger or a third person victim to receive the 15,000 pesos at minimum. You only need to have the following proof of losses reported or submitted. First, the police report of the accident. Second is the death certificate and evidence sufficient to establish the proper payee, whoever gets to receive the amount of 15 pesos or 15,000 pesos, and the medical report and evidence of medical or hospital disbursement in case there are expenses incurred in the hospital. Number three, it is a one motor only claim. Therefore, only one motor vehicle may claim the 15,000 pesos coverage. Number four, proper insurance from which to claim. There are two cases. In case of an occupant, the insurer of the vehicle in which the occupant is riding, mounting, or dismounting from, and in any other case, the insurer of the directly offending vehicle. So these are the only two cases where an insured can claim from the insurance company, and which insurance company to claim from. Number five, in all cases, the right of the party paying the claim to recover against the owner of the vehicle responsible for the accident shall be maintained. Note that a no-fault indemnity clause, there should or this clause should not be made against more than uh, one vehicle. So only one vehicle will be the claimant, and the claimant is not free to choose from which insurer he will claim the no-fault indemnity, as the law provides that in case of the passenger or occupant of the vehicle, the claim shall be filed with the insurer of the vehicle in which the passenger is riding, mounting, or dismounting from. This also does not apply to property damage. If the total indemnity claim exceeds 15,000 pesos and there is a controversy in respect thereto, defining the fault may be a failed of the insurer only as to the excess, but the 15,000 pesos shall be paid regardless who is at fault. Also, the essence of the no-fault indemnity insurance is to provide the victims of vehicular accidents or their heirs immediate compensation, especially since in most cases, or in some cases, wherein a lot of parties involving in a vehicular accident may want to file suit or complaint or action in court. For example, if they actually do not agree upon who will be shouldering the expenses, for example, or who is at fault. So in the meantime, while there's a pending the final determination of who is responsible for the accident and liable for the victim's injuries, or especially if there is death, the 15,000 pesos no fault indemnity clause will cover that for the meantime. There are also other special clauses to consider when having an insurance policy for your car. One is the authorized driver clause, second is the theft clause, and the third is the cooperation clause. The authorized driver clause indemnifies the insured owner against loss or damage to the car, but it limits the use of the insured vehicle only to either the insured himself or any person who drives on his order or with his permission. So it could be somebody who borrowed the car with the owner's permission or a driver of the car. Then the authorized driver clause has the purpose of requiring a person other than the insured who drives the car in the insured's order or his permission, such as his regular driver, for instance, or with his permission, such as a friend or a member of the family or the employees of a car service or repair shop, to be duly licensed drivers and have no disqualification to drive a motor vehicle. Another clause is the theft clause. It is that which includes theft as among the risks insured against, where a car is unlawfully and wrongfully taken without the knowledge and consent of the owner. Such taking constitutes theft, and it is the theft clause, not the authorized driver clause, which should apply. So you'll have to check your insurance policy if there is a theft clause, if there is an authorized driver clause, so that you will know which one will apply in cases of vehicular accidents or losses. The third clause is the cooperation clause, which provides that the insured shall give all such information and assistance as the insurer may require, especially including attendance at trials or hearings. So if this stipulation is included in your car insurance policy, then you are required as the insured to attend meetings, trials, or hearings with regard to any course of action involving your car. Talk about the cost. How much does the car insurance policies cost right now? How much does the Ctpl cost? Well, since it's required, these are the basic rates of the Ctpl depending on the sizes of your vehicle. Mostly as stipulated in the law, they are standard across the board, and any deviation which is far off from what is standard um, will also be a liability of the insurance company to the insurance loss, right? So if you take a look at the different kinds of vehicles here, ranging from motorcycles to taxis to tourist cars to light medium trucks or to private cars, they really uh, have a difference with regard to the size and the uses as well of your vehicles. Now let's go to the comprehensive insurance policy. Who among you here has a car? Has a Ctpl? But who among you here has a comprehensive insurance policy for your cars? Not all of us, right? Not all of the car owners have a comprehensive insurance policy because this is voluntary, unlike the Ctpl, which is required by law. This has a more wide and extensive set of stipulations which will be covered by the comprehensive insurance policy. This is voluntary, but in most cases, especially if your car is brand new and you haven't fully paid off the total purchase price of your car from the car company, and you've loaned this basically from the bank, your bank would require you to have a comprehensive insurance for your car. And that is because the Ctpl only provides compensation to the third party in case of a car accident, but the comprehensive car insurance policy has added or extra protection. Although it isn't required by law, some of these comprehensive car insurance policies um, do not cover personal injury or death of the insured or any injuries to the death of the family and employees, but there are other coverages. And if, for example, vehicular accidents will cost you more than what the Ctpl can provide for you as coverage, the comprehensive car insurance will shoulder those. So these are the many extra services covered in a comprehensive car insurance policy. It could be own damage, theft, third-party liability, if it's bodily injury up to 1 million, if it's property damage up to 1 million, also depending on the car insurance policy that you got. If you wanted, and also depending on the amount of or value of the vehicle that you had insured. It could also cover passenger personal accident, acts of nature coverage in cases of calamities, strikes, riots, or civil commotion. Towing service assistance can also be provided by your comprehensive car insurance policies. Ambulance service, removal of the vehicle in case of an accident, accommodation and travel due to breakdown of the vehicle. Yes, for example, you as the insured and the owner driver got into a car accident far from your city, and you have a comprehensive car insurance policy that stipulates there an amount or a certain amount of money that can be used for your accommodation and travel expense, especially since you cannot go home without your car at the moment. And then also fuel delivery, they cover some of them, battery boosting or jump starting, locksmith services, tire replacement, legal assistance, and 24/7 customer assistance. So if we can see the differences between Ctpl and the comprehensive car insurance policies, you are more secured. You feel safe with the comprehensive, but you will have to pay a higher premium annually. And these are the example computations of your comprehensive motor vehicle liability insurances. See, depending on the model, the make, and the year your car was made, basically, if your car is older, you will have a much higher price of the premium. But if your car is newer, lesser, but still, it depends on actually the model. If your car is, for example, a Ford Raptor and the value of the car is higher, so therefore your comprehensive premiums will also be higher. Now, how do you apply for a compulsory motor vehicle liability insurance? It's basically easy. Some can be found online. You can just, this is one example, and you can see online. You go to ctpl.ph. That's an example of an insurance company that covers Ctpl policies. So you apply online, you pay the premium, and then you receive the policy. But in most cases, when you go to LTO, either you register your car for the first time or you renew it, a lot of insurance companies are already based um, within the premises of the LTO area, not inside the LTO, but outside the building or the gates of LTO. You can see a lot of insurance companies that offer CTPL. This is also with regard to when you have your car renewed and then you have your gas emission checked. So thank you so much for listening. That's all for me. Have a blessed day, everyone.